What's going on, fellow A-plussers? It is I, your host, Adam Perez, back once again with a brand new video for you guys today. Unfortunately, some pretty crappy news if you're a big Gotham Knights fans, as we are going to be getting into some Gotham Knights news. Now, for those of you who don't know, while season one is currently still going on, I believe we have maybe two more episodes left. The idea of a renewal for the CW has definitely taken them a long time to go ahead and certainly announce one. There were a couple of shows that have kind of been sitting on the bubble of will it be renewed? Will it be canceled? I believe it was Superman and Lois, Gotham Knights, and the spinoff for All American, if I'm not mistaken. We had been hearing with the change of management over at the CW that big changes were coming, a lot more unscripted shows. They're going to be cutting the budgets of a lot of scripted shows. They've already canceled a bunch, but those three were in fact remaining as to what is the CW going to do? And we certainly had weeks of speculation, certainly around here. But, ladies and gentlemen, it has officially been announced as unfortunately, Gotham Knights has been canceled at the CW after one season. This comes to us from Variety.com. Superman and Lois, along with All American Homecoming, have in fact been renewed. So, like me, if you were big Gotham Knights fans, it's a little bit of a bummer. But honestly, I mean, let's be real. Is this really a huge surprise to many of us? I think for me, we probably came into this season one already with very low expectations as to what we could expect from this season. I think those that have watched and continue to watch have been certainly pleasantly surprised. But I think even going into this season, a lot of us expected this to kind of be a one-off, considering the direction in which the CW was certainly going to go. So the fact that it took so long for them to go ahead and cancel this season made me definitely think maybe there's hope. Maybe there's hope somewhere, but unfortunately, that just was not the case. But let's go ahead and dive into this article real quick for you guys. Again, this is from Variety.com. It says it's curtains for Gotham Knights at the CW. The network will not move forward with the second season of the DC series. Variety has learned the series was absent from a statement of the upcoming programming from the CW, which announced renewals for both Superman and Lois, along with All American Homecoming. The news about the future of Gotham Knights comes more than 2 weeks ahead of the date that the series is slated to air, what would now be its series finale. The program premiered on March 4th and was set to conclude its 13-episode first season on June 27th. And it just gives you a breakdown of what Gotham Knights is certainly all about. And it says they do have plans for Superman to run for 1 or 2 more seasons as the company prepared for rejiggering its approach. Now a renewal is officially confirmed for Superman and Lois, with 10 episodes ordered for the upcoming 4th season. So Gotham Knights loses out here. Superman and Lois certainly continues at least for one more season. And look, I've got mixed thoughts in regards to it. Again, not surprised. This shouldn't honestly come as any surprise to me. The ratings for this show have not been really great. If anything, I am kind of curious as to what the ending of Gotham Knights will be. Did they know that they were only going to get one season out of this? How early were they told this, if they were told this, right? So the season one of Gotham Knights end on a massive cliffhanger. I mean, look, we've had countless oh shit moments so far in this season. To leave us on one big one to not get anything resolved would truly piss me off. But again, I probably shouldn't be surprised if it in fact does happen. So I will be interested to see how this Gotham Knights concludes. And look, that's just how the dice rolls, unfortunately, man. I haven't been too pleased with a lot of the decisions that the CW has made in regards to maybe canceling certain shows. Painkiller, anybody, right? After Black Lightning, they definitely teased the possibility of a Painkiller spin-off series, and instead they were like, no, we're gonna give you Powerpuff Girls. And you see how that certainly turned out, right? So the decision to go ahead and not pick up Gotham Knights, I don't want to say it's gonna bite them. The CW is gonna regret it. They probably won't. But the decision to renew something like Superman and Lois for lesser episodes, and now even a smaller budget tells me they wanted to keep a show that clearly has a smaller budget. Gotham Knights certainly would have done that for them, but I think it really comes down to the ratings, the eyes, right? If Superman can get its budget certainly lower, maybe not as low as Gotham Knights, but certainly something that they can afford. I mean, we've been hearing stories of Superman and Lois like having some of their regulars on the show now becoming like recurring characters. So they're really canceling a lot of the regulars on the show. And so, again, in an attempt to go ahead and cut costs anywhere that you couldn't certainly find, and that definitely means for actors' pockets as well. And so, for me, it's one of those things where it's like, I got to assume it's probably the eyes. They probably think, look, we can lower the budget, but Superman is so beloved. This particular show has been doing phenomenal work. If anything, let's go ahead and bring it back so that at least the CW can attract those eyes. I personally was under the impression maybe they might do this a little bit backwards in the sense of Superman and Lois being so big in regards to its budget, how it looks visually on screen. I thought the new home for that would easily be HBO Max, where the CW can still have its DC television content on a smaller budget. But again, you're probably not getting the eyes that you need. And considering the big changes that are happening to the CW, the new shows, the unscripted stuff, right? Them really changing course, you probably want that audience from Superman and Lois to at least still come to your channel in some way, shape, or form to kind of maybe see what it is that the rest of the CW certainly has to offer. With Gotham Knights, you certainly might not get as many eyes, even though, again, I've been thoroughly pleased with this season. And look, if anything, there are always going to be people that kind of ruffle my feathers, people that maybe have only watched one episode of Gotham Knights, that maybe have not even watched the entirety of the season or know how good this show truly continues to be. And so for me, that's always a little bit bummer to kind of hear people chuckling at the demise of a series, which I personally never understood. I mean, they're definitely hard workers, hard writers, hard actors that definitely go into this putting their all to go ahead and certainly make something enjoyable. But, people will be assholes regardless of the case. But look, again, I don't think a lot of us certainly expected anything out of Gotham Knights. What we certainly got has definitely been a pleasant surprise, at least for me as a viewer. So it's going to be a little bit bummer to kind of see some of these characters that have grown on me certainly have to say farewell. But yeah, man, other than that, unfortunately, guys, Gotham Knights wraps up in 2 episodes. We didn't have a new episode here this week. We do have a new episode next week, and then the following week they will go ahead and wrap up. So I'm hoping for 2 back-to-back episode bangers, if you know what I mean. But look, guys, I want to know your thoughts. Look, I will say this too. I think the marketing for this show was done terribly. I did not care for any of the trailers originally, so they probably shot themselves already in the foot in the sense of not acquiring the audience that it needs to certainly continue on. And I think a lot of people were certainly able to kind of smell the blood in the water, or the idea of like this potentially could just be a one-off, very similar to what we wind up getting with Naomi. And so unfortunately, even after 10 episodes, while I think that the show has certainly gotten better, the views unfortunately just have not been there, and the CW has unfortunately made their decision. But again, guys, these are just simply my A+ opinions. I want to know yours. What do you guys think about the cancellation of Gotham Knights? Good riddance? Are you sad and need some tissues to go ahead and wipe away those tears? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section box below, guys. But other than that, that'll do it for us here. We'll certainly see you next week for our Gotham Knights review. But until then, do us a big favor. As always, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and keep it A+. I'll talk to you later. Bye.